Yeah.
I want to get you like the Elon Musk one, but with some of his tweets as the quote instead. Like, I am meme king. Like, also.
It's just the Doge emoji.
I love the what did you see? He tweeted with Frodo. He was like, Frodo was the chosen one, and it's just the Bitcoin ring.
Yeah, he tweeted about Doge tonight, but it was like he thinks that people should sell Doge. Not everybody, but the people who hold most of Doge. He'd be more interested in if they were selling.
So we can talk about it. Because I started talking a little bit about Doge, and then Vinny was like, "Hold on, we need to use this for the recording."
Yeah, he's saying some intelligent things.
So, like, we can talk a little bit about it, because like I think there's a lot of like misconceptions, and like there's a lot that like people don't like understand or realize, and like they do, like, it obviously is like a meme coin, like that's what it was made as, but it's built a lot of popularity and steam around it to where it's actually like, you know, something that's of value. Like for me personally, the reason why I had originally invested in Dogecoin was because of the stuff that was happening in the summertime when people were like trying to pump it through like TikTok and stuff. And I knew back then, like, there was no chance in hell that it would get up to $1. But I still said, screw it, because it's still going to get a pump. Like the internet, I always say, like, the internet remains undefeated. And I think like one of the best stories to go behind that is like Barstool. Like, obviously, like, we're all fans of Barstool. Like the internet, what they do, like, they just continue to freaking skyrocket, right? So with Dogecoin, I was like, there's really no.
And at the end of the day, you could say, like, sorry, could you go, Barstool at the end of the day is like a meme company. Like they don't provide value, and look what that turned into, you know?
Yeah, and I think to an extent they pretty much started out as that, and now like they're one of the, you know, up and coming gambling companies, media companies. Like,
yeah, they're like a legitimate media company getting into gambling. Like,
and we all remember it was down at $4 a share, and some of us continue to kick ourselves because we didn't.
Penn National Gaming, $3.75 was the low.
But like with
Penny National Gaming in March.
But with like Dogecoin, like I'm up like almost 10x on it right now, just because I've been holding and stuff. And I think at this point now, I do see a path to eventually get to $1 or even more. When you bring up Elon Musk, obviously he's one of the big backers of it. Now you can see public wallets and how much people have. He owns about, I think it's like 20 billion Dogecoins. So
does he really back it though, or is he just making fun of the people who do?
No, he's fully, like, at first he said it was a meme, but one of his quotes that I really liked was, he said fate loves irony. And he's like, how cool would it be if Dogecoin actually overtook Bitcoin in market cap? Now, one of the biggest misconceptions is that like Bitcoin and Dogecoin are one and one, like they compete against each other, which is totally false. So Bitcoin, you can think of more as like a digital gold. It's like a collector's item, right? There's only a finite amount. It's already super high. Obviously there are fractional shares, but to buy an actual Bitcoin, you know, you're shilling out 45K right now. With Dogecoin, it's lower. People, from a psychological perspective, people can buy more of it. So that's more entertaining to people. And just like what we saw with Wall Street Bets, when you build a community and people get behind something, like anything is possible. So you can like make things go up, down. And I really think with Dogecoin, and it's also an inflationary coin. So there's about 120 billion in existence right now. And it's more representative of $1. So like if we got it up to $1, then you could see a lot of businesses, like, you know, you could buy stuff with Dogecoin. It's more to be a currency of use, whereas Bitcoin is more of a currency of a collector's item, like a rare metal or something like a gold.
Well, I would say Bitcoin is also going to be a currency of use. I mean, I think the whole reason why you saw Tesla make, you know, that $1.5 billion investment in Bitcoin, yes, to, you know, do something with their cash, which is getting, you know, zero interest right now, but also, you know, they're expanding globally, and when you're going to be launching things like a autonomous ride-hailing network, it'll be easier to have a universal currency that people, like they said, they may accept Bitcoin in the future.
Yeah, and I think there definitely is a lot of room for that. And I you know, Elon did say that they do expect to accept Bitcoin in the future, and I think that's going to be awesome. I think that's going to be a huge boost for the entire crypto market. And I think there's also a lot of other cryptos to look at, like Ethereum, obviously, like we've seen take off. Now, from what I know about Ethereum, I don't know much about Ethereum, but apparently it's like the gasoline. Like you can think of it as the gasoline that kind of runs like all the computing and the blockchain. And like that's kind of how it's getting its pump right now.
Yeah, and Ethereum also, I don't want to use the word like it's more legitimate, but it's more like Bitcoin's, still at the end of the day, pretty skeptical, like not a whole lot of, info on like who started it and how secure, like it's secure, but Ethereum was made on like a legitimate network. Like the whole point was for it to be a more, like legitimate alternative to Bitcoin.
Yeah. And I think one of the other things too that we have to remember about Bitcoin is its finite amount. So I think there's 21, give or take, million in existence.
1 million, yeah.
But we also have to account for, I think there's about 20% of it that's either lost or like people can't even get into those accounts. So you're like shaving off like 4 to 5
That's a lot of money left to like what's gonna happen with all that?
And a bunch of that is probably people who like bought it like years ago. Like I've heard stories of people with like millions sitting in accounts and they're just like
they forgot their password and stuff.
Yeah.
There's one where a guy had put it on a hard drive and I guess accidentally threw it out, and he knows what landfill it's in, but the government won't let him go and search that landfill. And there's like $20 million. It's just like sitting in a landfill somewhere.
That's mind blowing.
That's wild.
The whole that you can just put it on a chip or like a USB or something like.
You can mine it, right? Like they have like special coders that go out and can mine Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Digitally?
So the thing with the mining is it's like it takes so much energy for such a little bit amount. But that's essentially how you're able to get Bitcoins, like supercomputers and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't even realize how much energy it took until I saw the other day people were complaining about Bitcoin's effect on the environment, which was like you wouldn't think of, but.
Oh.
Yeah, and I saw Tesla, of course, that's the first headline. They're giving them flack, like, oh, like you're investing in Bitcoin, like this is killing the planet, like give me a break. Like,
yeah.
So the U.S. dollar hasn't been killing the planet for the last.
Right, like as if the federal currency hasn't been. And it doesn't account for the fact that so much Bitcoin is mined using renewable energy anyway. So, like the way it's set up.
Yeah, I think Elon just needs to build 1 gigafactory just for Bitcoins.
And I mean, once all the Bitcoins are mined, I don't even know, like, do anyone know like how close it's getting? I just know 21 million, I think, right? So like,
I think it'll be like the last one will be like as currently would be mined in like 2025 or something. I'd have to look at the exact year.
So like at that
but like
rate,
it was within this decade.
Yeah, at that rate, once they're all mined, like that's what's using the majority of the energy. Next, you're just transferring. You're going to be paying with it, digitally, which going to reduce a carbon footprint. I mean,
I totally lied. I wasn't even close.
Is it like 30 something?
2140.
2140.
2140. Holy shit!
Wow.
Yeah, at its current pace. Yeah.
So how does that?
4 years, there's a Bitcoin.
18 million mined right now. I guess the last 3 million a little harder to get to. I don't know.
Well, and the thing too is there's a Bitcoin halving that happens every 4 years. So
the shrinking.
So the remaining that's out there gets halved every 4 years. Is what my understanding is on that.
How does this?
And are they still having the halvings though?
Yeah, there was just one.
4 years, May 2024. It says, yeah, we just had one in 2020.
Yeah.
One in 2024. Yeah.
How does this whole thing actually work though? I don't know anything about cryptos at all. Like, how does it work that it seems like somebody would have had to, like, these Bitcoin didn't just exist. It doesn't seem in the whatever the internet space to begin with. So like somebody would have had to plant these Bitcoin or create some sort of system that they like were like, oh, we can now mine these Bitcoin.
Yeah, it
It's
was
like, how do
Code,
they?
essentially. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
started by this guy. They think they call him Satoshi Nakamoto, but it's more of like a pseudonym. It's like Shakespeare, you know, like did he actually write all this, or was it like a group? Like they don't actually know. This is what I was saying earlier with like the origins. It's crazy.
So
And I
this
think
so
that-
is
I
the
think
value of
that's
Bitcoin? So, oh, sorry, Justin.
No, I was just saying, I think that story like helps give some of that momentum too. Like you hear about this folklore, this myth about it. And then on top of that, like the whole pizza thing where like the guy that like bought the 2 pizzas and
Like
like
500 Bitcoins or how much
there's
did
a
he
whole
spend?
story behind it that makes it
So like
fascinating.
$1 million pieces. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was worth like 21 million or something. I want to say I saw
Something crazy, yeah.
the money he's paid for a $40 pizza, probably.
So
But
how did
it's
this?
One thing with the Elon Musk Dogecoin thing, just because these are 2 things that I saw. I know you said that the publicly available wallets, Elon has like 3 billion available or 3 billion bought, but I saw that somebody has 3 billion and they spelt out his birthday in transactions. So I mean, it's not necessarily him, but I guess how
Yeah,
many
so
people
it's-
have $3 billion of Bitcoin?
It's not 100%, and I forget the exact number of the value of the wallet.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 billion, I think, right?
Yeah, so it's like 2 or 3 billion. I think the person has like 20 billion Dogecoin or whatever. But if you look at the different patterns, and it's funny because like people are trying to like piece things together, like who has enough money, first of all, to be doing this, and second of all, like who would be making the kind of transactions that they would be. So a lot of those transactions on the wallet are like cryptic. So like it's either his birthday or it's like 420 or it's like 69.
Yeah, I saw it's the one with
It's
his
like-
birthday. Yeah.
Right. So it's like it's like it can only be a handful of people who have that who have that much money and who are that interested in Dogecoin. So it's not 100% that it's Elon, but a lot of people are like leaning towards that it is.
I
Elon.
wonder.
Just before we got on here tonight, he tweeted about it and he was saying that there's like, he's like, he would be fully behind it if some of the people who own like a handful of people own like 50% of it. And he was saying if that concentration was broken up, he would be like all in on Dogecoin, which I don't know. I guess
I remember that all in the Rogan interview. Did you finish it?
I didn't listen to it.
I'm like halfway through, but I'm curious if he's, because that was a few days ago, so maybe he talks
Yeah.
about it.
It probably came up.
Yeah.
So like another thing with it too is, and we can talk about Robinhood and how much of a scumbag Vlad is. But basically like the problem and one of the reasons why I want to get off Doge or why I want to get off Robinhood is because when you own Dogecoins on Robinhood, they're not actually, yours in a crypto.
You don't own any crypto. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, and personally, I didn't realize that like when I started, like, I guess I, should have done my own research more, but I didn't
It's all
realize.
Robinhood crypto. Bitcoin. Yeah.
You know what though? It's the same with well, yeah, that, and also on Fidelity. I can't even buy Bitcoin directly. That's why I'm stuck with GBTC, Grayscale. That's the only way I can purchase it. I mean, I own Bitcoin. I've bought through Cash App. That's it. I mean, I know other options are Coinbase. You got BlockFi. BlockFi is very interesting. Like you saw when I said that in the
PayPal,
group,
right?
that PayPal, yeah, you can get to actually. That's true. So there are a lot.
Coinbase.
But
Coinbase.
BlockFi gives you 8.65% interest, but it's all in Bitcoin. So it's like,
Okay.
it's sketchy, and it's like, it's a little pyramid schemey. It sounds like a Ponzi scheme, I should say. But it intrigued me. I was like, should I open? And they have a cashback card where you get the cash back in Bitcoin. So I was like, this is interesting stuff. I think Visa did the same thing now as well.
Wow. So I mean,
and like there's a whole, obviously there's so many different cryptos that are out there and being made. But I think the coolest part about it all is the actual blockchain and the technology. It's going to advance so many things that we're able to do in life. So like the blockchain is just essentially just a ledger, a public ledger where you can see every single transaction, when those transactions occurred, where, when, how, and bringing that to the forefront of like finance or any other things that we do in life is just going to be super awesome. I think the one book that I I've been reading, this blockchain, the next everything, goes into like some of the different practices and stuff of like what the blockchain can actually do.
It's a big crypto guy over here. I had no idea.
Justin,
We got like a crypto analyst.
you should have suggested that for book club. The list is currently a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I know. Also, I am not a librarian, so please do your own
Right?
research.
Yeah, not a licensed librarian.
Not a licensed librarian. But there's cool things like I'll get into the NFT part, which is super cool, that I've started to dive into
Oh, man.
with the NBA Top Shot and everything. But even something as simple as like farm to table and realizing when your food, is grown and where it changes hands to, the grocery stores and then to your plate, like that transition of how the food goes, or things with like the problem with like blood diamonds and everything. So like knowing where these diamonds are coming from that you're getting and buying. There's so many different tools and aspects for how you can actually use the blockchain. So it'll be fascinating on what we can actually do.
Same problem they have with the the metals and stuff they need for the electric vehicle batteries. I mean, the cobalt, like there's all kinds of drama with that and where it's coming from, and that's why they're trying to get away from it. But
we can also use blockchain for voting. I know, like obviously rigged election and everything, so, but like you can do voting on a blockchain and it's all there. It can't be changed. It's lock and key. Like I think the government is afraid to go that route.
The government's afraid to. They got you filling out pieces of paper when you go there.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna go to blockchain?
A lot of other countries already do that.
Yeah. And it's like it's to be the number one country in the world, but not be as technologically advanced as we possibly can is just
China has entered the chat.
Oh, they've been
the voting system you're changing would require like the government to do something. like sign a law. Like like when you're in like middle school and like teachers lie to you as they do. Sorry, Vinny. And they're like, oh, governments make laws. No, they don't. They don't do anything. They're useless. They have whole classes that they give children. They talk about all the things the government does. You could do that in 5 minutes. You'd be done. The government, what do they do? Teaching.
Nothing. You will do nothing, like McGregor.
If I can ask, because I'm actually just curious, like what your strategy is with Dogecoin. Like, what's your exit plan? Do you have one, or are you gonna hold forever? Because I mean, you said you're up 10x right now, so. But I mean, you also said that you can see it going to $1. So is your plan just to keep on holding no matter what? Is your plan to like hold it till it's used for
there you go,
like till it's actually used as a currency and then use it as
the Dogecoin Thesis?
Yeah. So my plan right now, so I own about 120,000 Dogecoin, and my average cost is a little over half a cent. So like anything above that obviously is profit. And I think we're at a point where there's a lot of supports built in that I don't see it, ever going below 2 cents, probably even 3 cents. So like I still see a lot of support kind of built in right now. But yeah, the goal is obviously to be one of the people that holds with diamond hands and try to get this up to $1. But for me, like once we get to $1, then I need to really like consider, taking some profit. Like my whole plan is like, if this gets to $1, like I can pay off my student loans. Like how cool would that be? Just to like, that's all I want to do, right? I want to have that financial freedom to not be held down by, this corrupt system.
Right.
These stupid.
What's crazy? Like I thought we did pretty well with my med getting in like 33 cents, 43 cents. This guy got in half a cent. He's gonna make out like a bandit if it takes him.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I was just like, I put in a little bit. It was funny because I put in like a little bit when they were trying to pump it on TikTok back in the summertime, and it had like a little bit of a run up and like that was fun. And then I've just been like doing my stocks, and like every now and again I would have like $25 left over after I made a new deposit and purchase of some stocks. So I would like just throw it into Dogecoin instead of sitting there, because cash, as we know, is firewood.
Trash.
Cash is trash. Cash is firewood. So, put that money to something that obviously do your own research, but something that can grow and be more profitable and not just lose value.
You know,
Obviously, do your own research. This guy's a pro on the internet stock
He's
advice.
been watching.
Obviously, do your own research. Yeah,
No, this guy's been watching. You know what he asked me before you guys joined? Are you still making those videos? He hasn't even been watching.
Damn. I thought maybe he probably heard there was almost a lawyer in here tonight, and he thought he had to.
You know what's crazy? I was just thinking, like, 2021, you have Reddit. You just mentioned TikTok. These are who's dictating, the financial course here. But you know what is crazy is like I think it's great. I mean, who gave Wall Street the keys to the kingdom? Like no one else gets a say, and they can just control it all. I mean, it's like welcome to 2021. Like that can't get much more of a free market. Everyone has the same information to make of it what you will.
And
it wasn't right that so many Robinhood was the big one, the big story, but that like multiple brokerages like halted buying of GameStop and AMC. Like as ridiculous as like the whole thing was, be like you can sell or even after where they were like you can now buy like 1 share of GameStop and 5 shares of AMC, like, and to say that's not like market manipulation.
Wild, really wild.
That was really wild. Like that was
Yeah, and I think the whole messaging from the beginning too, when Vlad was kind of asked like, point blank, is this a liquidity issue? And he was like, oh no, it's not a liquidity issue. And like the next day it's like, oh yeah, we needed.
It's a liquidity issue. Yeah.
He flip-flopped. Yeah.
I love
the story straight.
I was just listening earlier to Elon Musk, had him on Clubhouse. Did anyone listen to him?
Oh, yeah.
He was basically like, he was being nice and like, he was just asking like, the questions and kind of pushing gently. But like Vlad would give like some answer and Elon would be like, you could just hear like the skepticism in his voice, like, oh, okay. And he would like ask something else. Like it was funny, but yeah, real sketchy stuff definitely went down. I mean, you got Citron and what was the other one? Melvin Capital. Those companies tried to run Tesla into the ground. I mean, this whole short selling thing, like I said in a video, I think doesn't get any more un-American than that. I mean, you're trying to beat a company into oblivion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. Short selling fucked up. I like Elon's short tweets.
Oh God, yeah.
He loved it because he wants to destroy the shorters. Yeah. And Melvin Capital, of course, Tesla. So it was.
What happened with how was the Mets owner involved? Cohen. I know he deleted his Twitter and he was going.
Oh, he was. So he's, SAC Capital. He's whatever, like a multi-billionaire, but I guess he and another firm invested. Like when the GameStop story was just getting hot, a bunch of like billions into I guess it was Melvin, right, to kind of help their liquidity issue with so that they could ride out this short.
They could crush all clubs.
But then actually this was kind of like he just joined Twitter when he bought the Mets to like tweeted with Mets fans and stuff. But then people got pissed off because he was tweeting. He's like, not feeling the love on here today. Like trading's too tough a game. And he was like, bring it stock jockeys. That's what he said. He was like, bring it stock jockeys. And then Dave Portnoy called him out on Twitter and he said something like, hey, come on, Dave, I'm just trying to make a living over here.
He was like, I'm just a simple man trying to make his way in the galaxy.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make a living over here. And of course, the other guy didn't find that very amusing. So he brought him into a Twitter war that he was not prepared for. This guy's not as Twitter savvy as other users.
As a side note,
Poor Steve, Uncle Stevie, that's what we call him.
Stool Presidente getting dragged out of the Super Bowl was hilarious though. With his little mustache.
Year, right?
Yeah, that's from the Atlanta year. New England,
it wasn't this year.
23.
Okay.
No, they weren't added this year because of the COVID. But
he put a huge bet on the game too, and he was in a jail cell like at the end of the game and like won hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That's why he's banned. Did you ever see the video of when Tom Brady got suspended for Deflategate?
That was like
games or something.
Oh yeah. I remember. Yeah, he said in the NFL headquarters and was like,
he went in with a couple other guys and they demanded a meeting with the commissioner because they were outraged and they were like, you got to leave, and he like handcuffed himself to the receptionist desk and they went to jail.
Yeah, and then
So
he
he's
did,
that kind of helped blow them up. He was like, he went to jail for Tom Brady.
and then during COVID and everything with the draft and how they were doing those charity like giveaways or whatever, and you would donate, and one of them was whoever donated the most amount of money would get to watch the draft with Roger Goodell
In his basement,
in his basement. And Portnoy put up $250K and won that contest, and then got a letter the next day. They're like, "Oh, we did a background check. Unfortunately, you didn't pass the background check and stuff."
So the auction is canceled. Yeah, they didn't even take the money or match it or anything.
Yeah, and that was for the COVID. Yeah, the COVID thing.
What a crazy guy. Well, I had never seen that video before anyways. At least I forgot about it. But the mustache was absolutely hysterical. He's just
wearing a hat that says, "I love Goodell."
I love Goodell. With them, oh, man. What a funny guy. Anyways.
Rolling up the sleeves.
Oh, shit.
All right.
Justin and I, on stock-related note, Justin and I have been watching WandaVision. It's actually pretty good. Kind of dragged me back into the Marvel thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it is good because the first, what was it, first 3 or 4 weren't that good? First episode?
First two stunk. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it was like a weird setup. It was like very corny, but like then it like starts getting into
bizarre. I haven't watched any of it.
Really?
It gets good. Yeah, it gets pretty good.
Yeah.
And I was like out on Marvel, but now like I think
I was gonna say I thought you were out.
I was. Then I watched WandaVision. Now I'm like kind of back in.
When's the new Spider-Man supposed to come out?
Great for Disney stock.
Disney stock. That's it.
Doing very well.
That mouse.
Spider-Man. When is that coming out? Next year?
Disney Plus was just in time because like, the movies talking, the box office is fucked, but like they just transitioned all their biggest, just by coincidence, because I mean they were planning anyway. All their biggest IP is TV now. It's Star Wars, The Mandalorian. It's Marvel with WandaVision. They got more coming out with Loki. So yeah, it's Star Wars and Marvel basically. Yeah,
that's all you need.
Those are the $1 billion franchises.